If it seems the horrific winter haze that drapes Beijing is getting worse, researchers say you may be onto something. Yuhang Wang is an expert in atmospheric science. He says for generations, prevailing Arctic winter winds have provided fresh air when pollution builds up in eastern China.
In the past, what usually happens is that the cold air over Siberia would move from the northwest to the southeast along the corridor of the eastern part of China, and that would swipe out all the pollutants along the way.
China is making huge strides in reducing harmful emissions that lead to air pollution. But the air quality isn't getting better. Wang co-authored a new study that shows this dilemma is not China's fault alone. He says warming temperatures far away in the Arctic are hurting China's air quality. Arctic ice is melting rapidly as the Arctic warms faster than anywhere else on Earth, and that is changing weather patterns.
What has been happening recently, which we think can be attributed to the sea ice loss, is that that conduit of cold air from north to south is moved eastward. So instead of going through eastern part of China, it's now going through Korea and Japan.
Here's an easier way to understand all the science behind this. During the winter months, a heavy haze builds up over Beijing and other parts of eastern China. That haze comes from car emissions. It also comes from factories and smokestacks, as well as the burning of fossil fuels. Well, in the past, heavy Arctic ice has controlled the East Asian winter monsoon. It has pushed through like this, blowing a lot of the haze out to sea. Well, we know that much of the ice is melting in the Arctic, and that is having an adverse effect on the monsoon. Heavier snow is building up over parts of Asia, but the problem is that haze is still settling in over Beijing and eastern China. And now, with limited air circulation and decreasing speeds and change in direction, the monsoon is moving far to the east.
And now, more than ever, Wang says, China needs countries like the U.S. to comply with the Paris Climate Agreement it signed to help control global warming. According to a scientific study, air pollution causes around 1.6 million deaths a year in China, as well as increased rates of asthma and cancer. Left unchecked, those statistics won't get any better. Callebs, CGTN, Washington.